everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Thursday, August the 17th, race number 9 at Saratoga. It's the Violette Stakes. These are 3-year-old New York breds going 1 mile and a 16th on the inner turf. Let's take a look at this field. Please scan or click the QR code for Race of the Day access on mobile, which includes free Formulator past performances. The 5, It's All Coming Together, beat 3 of these last time out when handed the early lead, Mike. And as we throw up the Timeform US pace projector, our friends at Timeform US believe that It's All Coming Together will make the lead again. I find it hard to believe Vacation Dance is going to concede this time.
Yeah, well, they did concede to this horse last time in that Cab Calloway division of the Stallion Series. And listen, he took full advantage. I don't really want to knock him too hard, Dan, because I think he's a nice horse. And he's basically run well in every one of his turf starts. But he did take advantage last time. Vacation Dance can be more forward in this race. The 2, King of Comedy, is plenty fast enough to be forward in this race. The pace is supposed to be a little different this time.
And if it is, it could work to the advantage of the number 5, Ramblin' Wreck. You'll note the LP flag, fastest late pace rating according to Timeform US, was odds on against It's All Coming Together last time out. Some might argue he was pace compromised. Let's talk a little bit about Ramblin' Wreck. He's been a very solid New York bred for his entire career. And last time out, when they conceded the lead to the winner, he was just sort of stuck saving ground near the back of the pack. And you watched IRAD, it looked like he really wanted to get out. Entering the second turn, he eventually stayed down inside, and this horse made it pretty close late.
Yeah, he really did. He came with actually a really good finish in that race, Dan. You're right. I feel like he wanted to get outside IRAD or on the turn, even all through the upper stretch. He had Vacation Dance right to his outside. He could not get off the inside until they were past the 8th pole. And then once this horse got clear, he really ran at the end. It was too late. I thought it was another good performance. Really liked his win off the layoff 2 back when he totally blew the brake and won easily anyway. He looked very progressive as a 2-year-old. He's the horse to beat right back.
The number 2 is King of Comedy, a new face to stakes competition. He deserves a chance at this level off of this performance at Belmont Park in early July. This race was going 1 mile and an 1/8, and he was able to get to the lead. And I think Javier Castellano won this race on the backstretch when he was able to shake loose while getting a breather. And this horse just has plenty left, strutting through the stretch to win with an 85 buyer.
He did take advantage. He looks good winning in this race, though. It's a pretty nice step in the right direction, even with a pretty soft trip, Dan. 2 back, he ran fine. He was in against a really good horse that day, Spirit of St. Louis. There's nothing wrong with the race this horse ran that day. Off the layoff 3 back, that was a wicked fast pace that he was involved in. He got tired. You know that they're going fast when Battle Scars wins, and you know where he came from. Battle Scars came from way out of it and took advantage. This horse, it's a tough call because he's overrated a little bit maybe off his last win, but he's underrated based on what he did before that.
Vacation Dance did some good things as a 2-year-old. Now, most of those races were sprinting. He won the Atlantic Beach at Aqueduct. He beat a pretty good sprinter that day, No Nay Hudson, just by going to the lead and shrugging that one off throughout the stretch. There are question marks. How far does this horse want to go? Has he improved from 2 to 3? Now, John Kimmel's going to add blinkers this time around. I think they're going to get a lot more aggressive out of the gate.
I think that's probably true, but the 2 questions that you asked about him, Dan, I think are very valid questions that this horse is going to have to answer. Has he improved from 2 to 3? So far, it doesn't really look like he has. Does he really want to go 2-turn route races? It kind of doesn't really look like he wants to do that either. He doesn't really finish that hard in his races. I don't know. Is it really going to work out for them if they try to send him here and make the early lead? I mean, there's a lot of questions here. I would demand a big price.
A horse that might be a bit of a sleeper in here is another one adding blinkers. That's the number 4, Willin' to Risk It All, who made his first start off the claim against It's All Coming Together last time out. And while he was rating, he was also rating outside. So he lost ground around both turns. And all in all, I think he was still punching on decently to finish 4th. I think this horse has a bit of upside, might get a better setup this time around. He's 15 to 1, and I wouldn't be surprised if he sneaks into your single race exotics at the very least.
I won't argue with any of that. They're going to put blinkers on him too. We'll see if they decide to get more aggressive because they wanted to rate last time and it didn't work out for them. 2 starts back, they did no rating. They went and contested a solid pace. He was passed in the stretch and he was dead game to come back and get the bob at the end. So, I mean, there are things to like about this horse and he almost has to be a pretty big price in this race.
It's All Coming Together is up next, and we're going to take a look at his victory over several of these last time out. They handed him the lead going into the first turn. He set a very rated pace, and he's able to hold off the rail skimming Ramblin' Wreck. You see on the outside Vacation Dance just outside of Ramblin' Wreck. In behind them was Willin' to Risk It All, but they can't get to It's All Coming Together, who did get the trip that day. The question is that same trip available to him here? I guess the jocks know the answer to that question.
Exactly. You don't know how it's going to play out early. It seems like there's almost no way he gets loose this time. Maybe he doesn't even have to, though, Dan. Again, all of his turf races are good. So it's not like this is a horse who's shown that he needs the lead to be effective in his races. I thought he ran fine last time. I just happened to feel like he took advantage that day, and I don't know that I'd want to bet him back at a shorter price this time.
If you're not a fan of that Stallion Series race as a whole, maybe the 6 Let's Go Big Blue is the new face you want to use, because he did show some ability against Open Company as a 2-year-old for George Weaver, and it looks like he's racing himself back into his best form. This will be his 3rd race of 2023 after this performance against first-level allowance horses, and boy, was he game down on the inside, just refusing to lose. He tried very hard in this race.
Yeah, he's very game in here. This is just 2 Thursdays ago. So he's back on relatively short rest for this race, Dan. It almost felt like Jose Lezcano didn't want him on the lead in this race. He broke very sharply, and he was on the lead. Lezcano took a hold of him. He wanted to concede. Nobody really went, so he just wound up securing the rail. I thought he was much the best in that race. He was a good 2-year-old. He took a step forward last time after a little bit of a trip in his 3-year-old debut, 2 starts back. This horse is pretty good.
Before we get to our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for the latest DRF videos. Top pick time for the Rick Violette on Thursday. We're both hoping that a different pace scenario helps the number 1 Ramblin' Wreck turn the tables on his competition, Mike. He's just done so much in his career that you just give him a fair shot, you expect him to run big.
Yeah, I agree. I actually feel like he ran really well last time. I know he lost at a short price. I thought he ran really well in that race, and I think he could easily get a little redemption here. I'm just going to take him. I know he's going to be a short price. I'm going to take him. I'm most afraid of the 6. Let's go Big Blue.
Yeah, 1625 for Mike. I'll go with Ramblin' Wreck again. Curious to see what Vacation Dance's tactics are out of the gate with the blinkers on, because we do know he has the speed, if they want to use it, to at least get up close to the pace. But Ramblin' Wreck for both of us in the Rick Violette. Good luck.